Stop. Yeah, okay, demo. That's what I thought. You'd have to nosedive it. Good stuff, though. Them fairings look toasty. Yep, there's the ground gas closeout. Evacuating all the liquid oxygen propellants out of the transporter erector because the fuel lines go up the structure that's behind the vehicle in this shot. It's to the left side there. They're getting all the fuel and just oxidizer out.
Falcon 9 is in startup.
Once it's all out, Falcon 9 goes into startup at T-minus 1 minute, which is what we just saw. Should get one final report here from the launch director reporting go for launch, and then we will go for launch. Do rockets have
go for launch?
There you go. Do rockets have navigation lights? No, they don't. Dragon does have strobes, but rockets do not know.
T-minus 30 seconds.
Yeah, there's a reason why I just look at the highlight reel for Formula One. It's so bad. That's why F1 wants to fast track a V10 engine for 2029. Yeah, you should probably do that. You probably should have done that. You probably never should have stopped.
9, 8, 7.
Pad deluge is on. Sound suppression water systems are on.
3, 2,
Ignition.
1. Ignition. And liftoff. Go SpaceX. Go Starlink.
Okay, into the night sky. Starlink 6-74 carrying 28 Starlink V2 minis to low Earth orbit. Cleared the lightning arrestor system here.
Vehicle is pitching downrange.
Pitch kick maneuver has
Schedule on propulsion is nominal.
been reported, along with flight dynamics reporting good propulsion. We should get an ECOM call here for power and telemetry, or whatever SpaceX calls it. I don't know what the ECOM position is for them. Should be happening right about now. I said...
Falcon 9 power and telemetry are nominal.
Thank you. Thank you. You had to say Falcon 9 because, you might be launching another rocket right now. I'm just kidding.
Vehicle is supersonic.
Okay. Coming up on maximum dynamic pressure. Nice station demo. Looks good, bud.
Max Q.
It's maximum dynamic pressure, peak aerodynamic load on the vehicle. There.
And back chill has started.
Second stage thermal conditioning has been reported. Basically what SpaceX is doing now is priming the engines on the second stage, making sure they're down to operating temperature. In this case, the operating temperature for the engine is supremely cold because of the densified liquid oxygen that SpaceX is using. Liquid oxygen needs to, in order for oxygen to exist as a liquid, it needs to be at a really low temperature for the gas to basically condense into liquid, right? So they got to cool down the turbine machinery on the second stage so it works correctly. The fuel pumps, you got to cool the fuel pumps. The second stage engine is being primed because they're about to fire it up here. In another 10 seconds, you should see the 9 engines in the first stage shut off, and then the second stage will separate from the first stage.
Main engine cutoff.
Stage separation confirmed.
There you go. Vent lines for the second stage. Detach. Got a good shot of the Floridian Peninsula there. Upper stage ignition. Green flash. Good. Merlin Vacuum is online reporting good telemetry there. First stage will now use its onboard thrusters to basically position itself for landing out on the drone ship downrange. Fairing separation is next up here.
Separation confirmed.
Here we go. The aerodynamic shell shielding the 28 V2 mini satellites has been jettisoned. Those are clamshell style fairings, so they move off like this. Those fairings will actually turn over, curved side facing the atmosphere. They will re-enter and then parachute down into the ocean, and SpaceX will go fish them out and reuse them. That's why that fairing was all scuffed up when we saw it launch, because those fairings have been reused. They've flown to space a couple of times. Like this. Like this. What is the horizontal banding on the stage one camera sees on stage 2 light? You're talking about the things that are attached to the engine, J-Speed? Those are the vent lines. Either that,
Discovery,
or,
throttle up.
you know, a camera doesn't like having a rocket engine ignite and blow right into the camera lens. Hey, Diamond, what's up, man? 85-month resub. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's just the exhaust from the rocket hitting the camera and the camera doing this and screwing with the shutter speed. Wasn't a fairing like used 25 times or something? It's something really up there, House, that's for sure. Other rock-related stuff. Ooh. That second picture is pretty poggies. Also, did you drop a battleship from rock? Okay, that's weird. Do they track those fairings, or do they have GPS wording on them? The fairings will guide themselves down, Moose, to a designated area. They do have control systems on them. They have autopilot. That's what I'm trying to tell you. You can see some soot deposited on the first stage interstage from this thing. Falcon 9 burns pretty fuel rich for thermal controls. For thermal controlling systems, so the engine doesn't overheat. Because if you ran these things stoichiometric, they would melt. Will Campbell is now on the Pats. Cool. We need an O-line. Are those handprints? Probably. Okay, 6 minutes into the flight. Everything's looking good. I'm not seeing anything weird here. We're coming up to my favorite part. Chat, are you ready? Are you ready? Do you know? See it. All right, cool. Nero. Just dated myself again. It's time for supersonic retro propulsion. So Falcon 9's going to fire its engine here.
Stage 1, entry burn startup.
To slow down. There it is. But it's not just doing that to slow down. It's doing that to push the re-entry heating away. When you re-enter the atmosphere, as you get further and further into it, more air is compressing up against the front of the vehicle. When that happens, it compresses. It gets so ridiculously hot because when you compress a gas, it gets hotter per the ideal gas law. It gets so ridiculously hot that it actually ionizes and makes plasma.
Yes, is saved.
Falcon 9 fires its engines to push that plasma away, minimizing entry heating on the stage, so it survives. That's its heat shield, firing the engines. We should see the drone ship come into frame here behind the left grid fin. It should be some lights there. There is some plasma accumulation on the grid fins there. The grid fins can take it, though. They are titanium. They're one-piece cast. There's the drone ship. That's what that dot is. Falcon 9 is flying. That's why it's kind of blinking in and out there. We'll be down there in a second.
Transonic.
Stage 1 is now transonic underneath the sound barrier. What is that phenomenon? Supersonic retro propulsion. Can you reduce re-entry heating KSP this way? To an extent, Sebski, but not like what it does with Falcon.
Stage 1 landing burn.
Stage 2 terminal guidance. Stage 1 landing burn has begun. Grid fins up at the top. Aerodynamic hypersonic control surfaces will steer Falcon 9 back over to the drone ship here. Rocket engine is being used to slow down. Once the grid fins become aerodynamically useless, and when it slows down too much, Falcon 9 will be on thrust vector control. Landing legs deploy. Grid fins locked. Ooh, a little bit of a rough landing there.
Stage 1 landing confirmed.
But everything seems okay. That is booster 1069 on its 23rd flight. 23 times! That's ridiculous! Okay, we have Seco, staging velocity 27093. That's perfect. Should get a call for nominal orbit insertion.
Nominal orbit insertion.
Told you. Cool, we're good. These numbers are perfect. That's pretty much on par for a Starlink mission. We're good. It did wobble a little bit on the drone ship. That thing came in a little bit hard. It scooted around. Must be rough seas out there tonight. So you're saying me being a hapless Dolphins fan, is that allowed here? You can be a Dolphins fan, that's fine. What am I gonna say, Fluffy? You guys are terrible? It's not 2018. That doesn't work anymore if you're a Patriots fan. Bro, we suck. We are so bad. But you know what, dude? I don't care. I don't care, dude. We're spoiled. The fans, a Patriots fan, I'm spoiled. I've been spoiled the last 20 years. I'm good. We can have 5 or 6, 7, 8, 20 loses. I don't care. I don't care. It really doesn't bother me. You know? Long Starlink coverage from SpaceX today. We almost saw the nozzle cool down a little. Yeah, Bill, right? Yeah, decades, bro. What am I gonna do? Complain? I ain't complaining. We suck. And we're gonna suck for a little while. That team, that franchise has brought me so much unbridled joy over the last 20 years. I'm good, dude. They could lose. They have a losing season for the next 10 years. I really wouldn't care. Yeah, it's good for ticket prices. Yeah, exactly, Jim. So we can watch a damn football game for a change and not have to pay $500. I feel that way as a Chiefs fan, except in reverse. Bro, will you win a Super Bowl, please? Another one? I'm a Raiders fan, so all you feel is pain. Yep. It's like being a Red Wings fan. We've sucked now for 9 years. Yep. Shouldn't have got rid of Bertuzzi, man. I like Bertuzzi. Freaking on the stupid Leafs. Hate the Leafs. Go Sabres? Bro, hockey doesn't exist. It's not hockey season. It's baseball season, man. It's baseball season. Hockey season ended and nothing else happened ever. It just ended. It's so weird. They decided to not do the postseason. That's so strange. That's so weird. I don't know what happened. That's strange. It's just the Bruins played their last game and then they're like, oh, sorry, hockey's canceled. As long as we're bearing our souls, you're still a whale. Oh, the whale, dude. Yeah. The whale. They play a postseason? Yeah, demo, I know. It's so weird. Yeah, they just stopped doing that. Can't be any worse than the Cowboys. Yeah, maybe. Your Mets have the best record in baseball. Let's see. The AL East. Red Sox are above 500. That's good. The Yankees are 15-10. Sox 14-13. 2 games behind. That means nothing. That means nothing right now. Yeah, this means nothing. Talk to me in 150 more games. Yeah, Brand. Yeah, nothing. Cubs bats are insane this year. Cubs are 16-10. Wow. The Pirates still suck. That's good to know. Dodgers are 16-9. The Padres are 17-8. Whoa. The Mets are 18-7. Winning percentage 720. Holy balls, dude. You weren't kidding, Dink. What the heck is up you guys' butt? You know there's 150 more games to play, right? 140 more games to play, right? Don't freaking Don't freaking use up all your talent right now. The joke is the Sabres haven't made the playoffs in almost 15 years. Good. Good. 12-1 at home. By the way, our long-range hypersonic weapon will be called Dark Eagle. It will be tested in the next 2 days. On the Cape, a block of destroyers in the Atlantic are going to try and kill it. All the names we could have come up with, we named it Dark Eagle. Dark Eagle. That's it. That's the name. That sounds like what I would name myself on Xbox Live when I was 12. Dark Eagle. It's the Deagle. Oh, we should, yeah, okay, we could call it that. That's fine. Yeah, you're right. That's a good point. Pirates owners suck. The whole city hates them and wants them to sell. You can hear sell the team chants on TV every game. It's a shame, Oradon, because PNC is one of the only other baseball stadiums that I've been to, dude. It's such a good facility. Seriously, the bridges and the buildings in the background. Man. Really wish that franchise would do good for a change. Dark Eagle 42069. Yeah, right? XX Dark Eagle XX. Yeah, exactly. You should play Oblivion so for the algorithm bump. I don't play sword games, dude. Night no day, that ain't my style. Point. Most people in the military are within a decade of graduating high school. All right, that's fair. Don't look at the A's? No, I won't. Schedule 1. You got to get them YouTube views. I will try Schedule 1 tomorrow before the Flame Trench, okay? I said we were going to play games. We'll play games tomorrow. I wish I could show off what work I do. I love press release chicken. Please don't. What is this game about? I know it's about drugs. Gotta teach them kids about business management. You'll probably be bored with it after 2 hours. That's why I'll slot it in before the Flame Trench, because if I don't like it, I have an out. It's not for you. It's stupid. Schedule 1. You're a drug dealer who mixes drugs with, like, Red Bull to make it a better sell and make profit. Very good for society. Yeah, I'm not 100% sure that jives with the family-friendly things. You know what I'm saying? It's GTA if you actually did crimes. Alright, well, if we don't do Schedule 1 tomorrow, we'll do something else. Schedule 1 would only really work in an after-hours slot. Noted. Alright, so we will play it for after hours sometime next week then, okay? Thoughts on RDR2? Jay, it's actually like one of the best games ever made. Ever. period. RDR is... Red Dead Redemption 2 is a masterpiece of gaming and should be studied in every game design course. Build Dragon in KSP before Flame Trench. Dragon is such a pain in the butt to make, dude. Never a truer statement. I love Red Dead, dudes. If you guys wanted to do a Red Dead playthrough, I will do a Red Dead playthrough with you. Absolutely. I love that game, and I don't even like Westerns. Really? Two. You guys would really want to see that. I thought Workers tomorrow. We could still play Workers tomorrow, but have you been playing KSP at all lately? I actually made a Starliner the other day demo to prove Dots that he couldn't dock to the space station with the thrusters out. That actually went out during the mission. I still got it, dude. We can still ball in Kerbal. I'm still pretty damn good at it. Dumb joke levels in Schedule 1. The initial money laundering operation is run out of the laundromat. Well, you didn't think we would? I tried doing an RDR playthrough when RDR released on PC. Because Rockstar asked me when RDR released on PC if they wanted to give me a free copy. And I was like, yeah. And then they did. And then I felt bad. Because I was like, oh, all right, I got to play it. So we did start an RDR playthrough. But I never finished it. People stopped watching. But I think that may have had to do with spoilers, if I'm remembering right. And Das left one stranded at the ISS. Yeah, he did. Yeah, demo, I built a pretty damn good Starliner. It handles just like the real one, dude. And I must say, that thing has a lot of thrusters on it. I don't really understand why you would build that the way that they did, but whatever. You haven't finished the game? Oh boy. No, I haven't. I have not finished the game. Holy crap, I never finished that game. I played on console. I played it a lot on console, on Xbox One. I did it off stream, though. And then something happened, and I just stopped playing it. Holy balls. Guys, I've gotten like 80 to 90% of the way through that game. Holy shnikes, I never finished it. How is that possible? We got it now. We got it now. Do you have Ghost of Tsushima? No. It might be me, but Workers sounds better. We can play Workers tomorrow if you guys want to. Or if you want to start cutting up the floor in the Coronet, we can do that too. But we got to be very careful about what we cut out. Because it's not on a jig. It needs to be on a jig if we're going to cut out what we need to cut out to fix it. ADHD strikes again? No, Aqualex. I played Red Dead. I played on the console when the game came out. I played it off of stream. I wasn't working. I would shut the stream off and go and play it till like 4 or 5 in the morning. Yeah, and then I got a good way through just really playing the snot out of that game. And something happened, a new Kerbal patch came out or something, and that was it. When are the lifts coming in? The lift? In the shop? No cutting yet. Yeah, we really shouldn't. What was going on in your life at the time? I don't know. When did Red Dead come out? Hang on. Uh, Hang on. So Red Dead came out October 26, 2018. Now, let's go here. Version history. October of 2018. There's your answer. Oh, there's your answer. 1.5 came out. They added EVA and IVA new suits, revamped parts, burn time information. Yeah, that 1.5 was a huge patch. That was big. Yeah. And then 1.6 came out in December of 2018. Delta V stage, Delta V tool app, part revamp, nav icons to launch sites, ability to remove helmets and neck rings. That's what happened, dude. Kerbal, at that point in time, Kerbal was actually being updated on a regular schedule. I still love the team that was working on that at the time. So like Repo, Maximal, Trigger, those guys are sick, dude. They're so goddamn talented. Hey, Kickning, 49-month resub. Thank you. Yeah, it's very dead, Virtual. Click on the 1.5. Higher impact tolerance, deployable parts, Kerbal suits, revised asteroids, burn time information, staged docking ports. Yeah, that would have kept me busy for a little while. Kerbals can now be placed in external command seats in the VAB SPH. Wheel suspension now has an auto spring damper to combat bouncing wheels. This can be turned off via advanced tweakables. Burn time indicator. Switch symmetry mode back to when it was set after hovering over a node. Nice. Allow pinning of part action windows and resource transfer for highlighted parts. Implemented new text for agent. Yeah, that would have kept me going. And they redid a bunch of parts there. Yeah, that would have kept me occupied for a little while. Anyway, how's the car going? It runs and drives, dude. Yep, she runs and drives. We got the motor dialed in with new plugs today. It does have electrical gremlins, but that is the least of our problems, considering the floor is Fred Flintstone right now. Well, it's not, but it's patched. Like that, we gotta do a lot of metal work to fix this before we go messing around with the electronics. Methane subcooler. What's up, man? Yeah, we're gonna wind it down here. If you follow waterfall engineering and software, how do you handle a hack event? I don't know. That's not a question for me, dude. Bill, do you know anybody that can make frame jigs? I'm actually asking. This thing is gonna need a frame jig. Like, if you do cut it out, I actually challenge you to Flintstone it. We have to cut it out, Max. Here, let me show you. Dude, there is... Here, I'll just show you. Let me show you this picture. So Chrysler is using they use the unibody for these things. So you have two front frame rails, right? And then you have two rear frame rails, and then that's integrated into the floor pan. The structure gets carried through the outer rockers right here and right here. You see those two lines? The two lines on either side need to be replaced. So if you look even closer, right here, this is the torsion bar cross member. Hey, Fluffy Bits, awesome job on the car this week. So these need to be replaced on both sides. That's the outer rocker. That's the inner rocker. Right here, the frame rails tee into this beam right here. That's the torsion bar cross member. The B bodies use a torsion bar, so there's a huge bar that anchors in here and goes to the lower control arms right there. I'll show you this at some point. So the torsion bar cross member is fine from about here to about here. The part that matters, remember how I said the rocker panels are carrying structure here? That part's gone. There's nothing from here to here. I can just see the bottom of the floor. Or the bottom of the patch panel that somebody put there. There's also nothing right there. This right here, this connector piece, the torque box is fine. That piece is intact. So that is some structure there, but your primary component that's carrying the suspension through the load from the suspension through the chassis is gone. We need to replace the torsion bar cross member. Going to the back, the rear torque boxes here and here are fine. Everything is fine back here until you get to here. The trunk pan is shot. The wheelhouses are shot. And from about here back is shot on both sides. From about there back. This right here is the rear bumper cross member. Gone. It is quite actually rusted in half. Yeah. It's rusted. There's a rut that the middle of that thing is gone. So you have two cross members on either side doing this. I'm going to be honest, I spent the last 2 months doing suspension stuff and still don't understand how the coronet works. Oh, it's easy, dude. The coronet is torsion bars. Easy. So, all right, you have your frame rail right here, right? The frame rail that I was just telling you about. You have the lower K member right here, right there, and right there, you have a lower control arm, right? You have your lower control arm. And then in this design, you have there's an upper control arm here as well that's on top of the frame that goes like this, okay? It connects to the spindle's right there, wheel is right there. There's a shock absorber that goes from the control arm up to a pocket up here on the B body. That's where the shock is. Now, how does the spring work? Well, the spring is just a rod that goes back. It goes back this way. Actually, in this design, it would go back that way. The frame rail goes out, right? Like I was showing you. Frame rail goes out that way. And this thing goes underneath the frame rail to the torsion bar cross member. There's a huge welded boss in the torsion bar cross member right here. And then that stuff all connects, and there's the rocker of your car, right? So the bar goes back all the way here to there. Now, how does that work? Well, on this side, the boss that's right there, the torsion bar is a square, and the end of it is square. So you put the square in the square hole, right? So the end of the bar squares off. Like that, even though it's circular here, right? And then the front of it is squared as well and picks up on the control arms. So, what happens when you load up this suspension? Well, say that's your torsion bar, okay? The back is held in position at the cross member, and the front is held in position at your lower control arms and anchored on the frame rail. When you twist this torsion, when you twist it, this area is fixed This, because it's on bushings and connected to the control arm, this can move. So you're twisting the bar. That's your tension. Your torsion. You're just twisting it. You twist the rod, and that's your spring. That's your spring rate. Dude, it's trick. It's really smart. Very, very, very simple. Like one of the simplest types of sprung suspension around. You got a MIG welder and a gas torch. Get some 1/8-inch mild steel strip as wide as the cross members and make overlapping L brackets. Clamp them and plug weld. Cool fact of the day, most prototypes in F1 cars are using torsion bars too. GM8 lug trucks still use torsion bars to this day. There you go. It's a whole lot easier when you can get placed in sections. Bill, you don't know anybody. Your 72 Roadrunner has torsion bars. Roadrunner, your 72 Roadrunner is a B-body. It's the same as the Coronet. The underpinnings are the same. You have the same car as me. But your Roadrunner has a way cooler engine in it and way less doors. Torsion bars are simple. They're very simple. Really, really smooth ride. Really smooth ride. Probably has less rust. Yeah. But there's Bad Obsession Motorsports, but if you dropped Red Dead, it would have been 1.6. Yeah, Trenton. Either way. A lot heavier engine. Roadrunners, what does your Roadrunner have? It's a 72, so it's got a 383, 400, 440? Temporary reinforcement directly above the crossmember to be replaced in the car. 440? Nice. That's cool, man. I'd love to put a 440 in this car. But, dude, man, if you could see that, if you could see what we streamed today, we got that 318. For a 318 that looks like it's never been serviced, ever, with 97,000 miles on it, we got it running pretty damn good. The car can idle. It drives around. We tuned up the engine. Is the Hemi still in the works? Yeah, for a little while. But, guys, I don't know. The Hemi might take some time to put in. So, 318 is certainly a lot simpler. You're watching, you tune it up. Right on, man. Right on. All right, guys. I got a meeting in a couple minutes. So, I might stick with the 318 just for now while we get parts, while I source parts and stuff for the Hemi. I got to read about what to do with that 5.7. So, yeah, while we do the patchwork, we'll just keep the 318 in it. It runs and drives. We just put a lot of money into, well, not a lot of money. We put a good amount of money into it. We did the plug wires. We did the oil. We did the transmission. Actually, that's it. Not bad. Ready for Imola tomorrow? No, but I'll still do it. Just finished up today working with my friend on his import with a 1J. Nice. Coolant hose broke and flooded the spark plugs. Good times. Content has been on point this week. Nice work. Thank you. Semi-serious suggestion. Get yourself a reasonably priced 3D scanner. I have an Xbox Connect out there that we could use. The meeting at this time of night, the meeting is with people overseas. Okay. All right. Guys, that's going to do it for me. Weather guy, I'm not, we won't raid. I got to go. Doesn't take that much to do the swap. Whatever. Yeah, we can talk about this more tomorrow, okay? I'll talk to you guys later. Thank you very much for watching. Have a good night on YouTube. Have a good night on Twitch, guys. I'll see you in the morning. Good night. Later. Thank you.